The Galactic Council, reeled as humanity, revealed its dark matter fleet. The chamber was huge, shaped like a crescent moon, with hundreds of delegates seated along curved platforms. Each delegate came from a different species, some tall and thin with translucent skin, some short and round with many eyes, others almost invisible, blending into the shadows. The council had gathered to discuss a matter that had been troubling them for decades: humanity. Humans had grown too fast, too unpredictable, and too strange to ignore. For centuries, the council had watched them from afar, curious but cautious. Humans had barely touched space, yet somehow they survived disasters that would have destroyed entire planets. They had built machines faster and stronger than anyone had thought possible. The aliens had called them fragile, primitive, and sometimes amusing, but now they had begun to worry. At the center of the council chamber, a raised platform held the human delegates. Ethan Cole, a tall man with calm eyes and a quiet voice, stood in the middle. Beside him was Laura Bennett, a woman known for her sharp mind and steady calm under pressure. Unlike most humans, they did not wear military uniforms. They were diplomats, negotiators, representatives of a species that had learned to survive in the hardest conditions. Around them, the council members whispered and muttered, their voices strange and melodic, almost musical but full of tension. The council leader, a being named Zilath, spoke first. Zilath was enormous, with skin that shimmered like oil on water and arms that moved in slow, deliberate waves. "Humans," Zilath said, its voice deep and vibrating, "you have come far beyond what we expected. Yet we must ask, why? Why have you hidden your true abilities from us? We have only focused on surviving and learning. Our progress may seem sudden to you, but it is simply the result of necessity. Hardship has taught us to adapt, to innovate, and to protect ourselves. Your words are smooth, human, but smooth words do not change facts. You are weak compared to us. You barely control a few star systems, yet your technology, your defenses, they are unusual, suspicious. We only seek to grow and learn like any species. Humanity's mistakes have been our greatest teachers. We do not wish to be underestimated any longer. Catastrophic plagues, near-complete planetary destruction, rogue AI experiments that should have obliterated your cities. You have endured all. How is this possible? Perhaps not as strong as you, perhaps not as fast or perfect, but we endure. That endurance is our strength." From the back of the chamber, a young human engineer, Claire Wilson, raised her hand. She had been part of the team studying advanced energy systems, systems that could harness the forces of the universe itself. "We have explored things you might call dangerous," she said softly. "Dark matter, for example, forces that could destroy entire fleets if misused. We have not hidden our work because we seek war, but because we need time to understand it ourselves. Every discovery carries risk. Every invention must be mastered before it is revealed. We have studied these energies for centuries. Many species have tried, many have failed, and yet you claim mastery. We hope it will never be necessary. We do not ask for your trust today, we ask only for understanding. Watch us, observe us. Humanity will prove itself through action, not promises." A loud, resonating sound echoed through the chamber, signaling the end of the session. Zilath raised a hand. "We will continue this discussion tomorrow. Human delegates, you may return to your vessel, but know this, the Council watches you closely. Do not mistake our curiosity for forgiveness. We will see if your words hold truth." They turned and walked out of the chamber, their steps calm but their minds racing. They knew the Council would not easily accept them. Humans had always been underestimated. They had always been pushed aside, ignored, mocked. But they had survived. They had endured. And now the galaxy would see what they were capable of. As they returned to their ship, Ethan looked out at the black expanse of space. Stars sparkled like distant jewels, but behind their light lay dangers, threats, and mysteries the Council could not yet imagine. "They do not understand us," he said quietly. Laura smiled faintly. "No, they do not, but they will. Soon, they will see why humanity has endured while others fell." Meanwhile, far across space, alien spies and scouts monitored the humans. Reports were sent to the Council. "Humans continue to expand, strange energy readings, unusual resilience. We cannot predict their next move." Fear and fascination mixed in the Council chambers. No species had ever developed so quickly, yet remained peaceful in intent. Ethan and Laura convened a private meeting with Admiral Kevin Ross, a human military officer who had quietly observed the Council proceedings. "They are suspicious," Kevin said, rubbing his jaw. They do not trust us. They see our survival as a threat. One mistake, one misstep, and we could ignite a war we do not want. But we must not reveal everything yet. Our strength is in the unknown. They must understand that humanity survives not because of fear, but because of determination and intelligence. The galaxy will learn the truth in time. For decades, humans had hidden their most advanced technology, studied the forces of the universe, and prepared for a future they could not yet see. Outside, stars stretched on forever, indifferent to the struggles of any species. Yet in the darkness, unseen by most, humanity had begun its ascent. Small at first, almost invisible, but growing stronger, more capable, and more daring with each passing day. The Council's laughter and skepticism would not last forever. Soon, the universe would recognize the humans as something far more than fragile, far more than primitive, far more than anyone had ever imagined. For now, the humans waited, watched, and prepared. The first words had been spoken, the first impressions had been made, and the first seeds of a new chapter in galactic history were quietly planted. Humanity would survive, and one day they would show the galaxy why no one should ever underestimate them again. The chamber of the Galactic Council remained silent after the humans departed. Delegates whispered nervously. Reports were sent, simulations run, and debates sparked. Could a species so small, so unassuming, wield forces powerful enough to shape the galaxy? Could their resilience mask an unseen weapon waiting for the right moment? Zilath, the council leader, remained still thinking. Its mind, vast and ancient, had never encountered a species like humanity. The Council had faced threats before, civilizations with destructive power, fleets capable of annihilation, and technology beyond comprehension. But humans were different. They were unpredictable, untested, and alarming in their quiet determination. Outside, the stars continued to burn, distant and eternal. Humanity's journey had only begun, and the universe was about to learn that survival could be the deadliest power of all. The stars outside the human vessel glimmered like distant diamonds, but inside the ship, the atmosphere was tense. Ethan Cole and Laura Bennett moved quickly through the corridors, their steps echoing softly against the steel walls. The Council's doubts and fears still lingered in their minds. Humanity had survived the first meeting without incident, but now they had to show that their strength was real, not for pride but for survival. In the ship's central chamber, Claire Wilson, the young engineer, was already waiting with Nathan Brooks, the chief scientist. Maps and holograms of space flickered above the table, displaying strange energy signatures and complex calculations. "The Council is curious," Claire said quietly, "but curious can quickly turn to suspicion. We need to show them something real, something they cannot ignore." Even small mistakes could destroy an entire fleet or a planet, but we cannot hide forever. They will sense our hesitation, and hesitation breeds distrust. The question is, how much do we reveal? But even a theory can be dangerous in the wrong hands. If the Council misunderstands, they may see us as a threat, not a survivor. Complex power did not need to be hidden behind confusing words or symbols. It needed to be understood. Meanwhile, the Council convened in their chamber without the humans. Zilath, the massive, shimmering leader, paced slowly. Delegates whispered anxiously. "Humans are unpredictable," said Thrin, the multi-eyed tentacled being. "They survive against all odds. They experiment with forces beyond comprehension, and yet they claim to seek peace. I do not believe them. Learn their intentions. Do not underestimate them. The galaxy has never faced a species like humanity. Their strength is not in weapons alone, but in their persistence. Just enough to prove that humanity is prepared, aware, and capable. This is not about dominance. It is about survival. Remember that. Everyone must be precise, calm, and clear. They may be shocked, but they will understand our intentions." The room was filled with whispers and curious glances. Zilath's eyes narrowed, and the other delegates leaned forward, eager to see what the humans would reveal. Ethan began, his voice calm but confident. "Honored council members, we understand your concerns. You have watched humanity from afar and questioned our progress. We do not claim to be perfect, nor do we seek to dominate. But survival has taught us lessons that no other species may fully understand. Today, we wish to show you a part of what we have learned. Dark matter is a force that exists beyond most understanding. It can destabilize entire star systems if handled incorrectly. For decades, humanity has studied it. We have learned to control it, to shape it, to use it as protection rather than destruction. Even the council leader, Zillath, paused, impressed despite himself. Nathan stepped forward. "We are not showing weapons today, we are showing understanding. Our simulations prove stability and safety. We have tested this system across thousands of environments. If used correctly, it can shield entire fleets, protect colonies, and stabilize dangerous anomalies. We do not seek war, only survival. That is our history. That is what we bring to the galaxy, not perfection, but persistence, intelligence, and resilience." They demonstrated controlled bursts of power in virtual simulations, proving that even in extreme conditions, humans could manage forces others considered too dangerous to touch. Some council members were fascinated. Others were suspicious. Thrin hissed repeatedly, uneasy. "Humans are reckless." They claim caution, but only someone desperate would attempt such experiments. "We have your courage undeniable. We will continue to monitor your progress. But understand this, the galaxy does not forgive recklessness. Your survival may impress us, but it also alarms us. Do not mistake caution for permission." "That is all we ask for now." "They are curious," Nathan said. "Some of them may even respect us, but others they are still suspicious. We cannot underestimate their fear. The Council will not fully trust us yet, but we have planted the seed. They now know humanity can handle forces beyond comprehension. That is the first step toward recognition. The next step will be more difficult, but it will come. It sharpens us, teaches us, and forces us to grow." The dark matter fleet remained hidden, waiting for the time when the galaxy would need to see the full measure of human ingenuity. Outside the ship, stars burned silently, unaware of the small, determined species moving among them. The Council may have doubted, feared, and whispered, but the humans had made their first mark. For centuries, they had been underestimated. For decades, they had been ignored. But now, humanity had begun to show that survival, intelligence, and endurance could become a force no species could easily dismiss. The journey had only begun, but the seeds of change had been planted. Humanity had revealed a part of its power, the galaxy had noticed, and a new chapter in history was quietly unfolding. One day, the Council and the universe at large would learn that the humans they underestimated were capable of far more than anyone had imagined. The stars stretched endlessly, but for the humans aboard their fleet, space was no longer empty. Every jump through hyperspace brought new challenges, but also new confidence. Humanity had shown the Council a glimpse of its strength, but the full measure remained hidden, a secret waiting for the right moment. The dark matter fleet, built quietly over decades, was humanity's ultimate insurance, its silent shield. Captain Alex Turner stood on the bridge of the flagship, a sleek vessel almost invisible to the naked eye. He looked at the glowing holograms of the fleet scattered across space. "All ships report readiness," he said calmly. The crew moved efficiently, their faces focused. They had trained for this moment without fully knowing when it would come, yet they were ready. Ethan Cole and Laura Bennett joined him on the bridge. "The Council has seen only a fraction," Ethan said. "They must not know the full extent yet, but it is time to remind the galaxy why humanity has endured. Only we can navigate safely. Any attempt to track us from outside will fail. It is as if we are ghosts moving through the void. The reports indicate strange energy fluctuations near human space. Could it be a warning?" Ships shimmered in invisible fields, their dark matter cores bending space around them. Engines hummed quietly, using energy that few species could even detect, much less control. Each ship was equipped with defensive shields capable of withstanding attacks from entire fleets, yet the weapons were minimal, designed for protection first. Ethan and Laura stood together on the bridge, watching the fleet. "They think we are simple," Laura said. "That we are weak. Let them continue to think that. Underestimation is a weapon in itself. Let us see if their assumptions survive observation," he said quietly. Suddenly, the silence of space was broken by a ripple of energy, faint at first, then growing. A human scout vessel reported an anomaly near the Council's border. "Strange energy readings," the pilot said. "High-intensity dark matter fluctuations, multiple vectors detected." They sense something, but they do not know what it is. That is good. Let them wonder. Let them fear possibilities they cannot predict. "How is this possible?" The humans did not show the fleet itself, only simulations of how the dark matter fields worked. Energy flowed smoothly around the vessels, bending light, hiding mass, and shielding systems from attack. The Council could see the potential, and fear began to take root. Even if they do not attack, Thrin hissed, their capability is a threat. We cannot ignore it. Every fleet in the galaxy would be powerless against such forces. That is all we ask the galaxy to understand. Engage in full coordination exercises. The Council must see what humanity can achieve with planning, intelligence, and restraint. The simulations were precise, elegant, and terrifyingly effective. Even theoretical use shows mastery, Laura said. This is not raw power, this is understanding. The Council cannot ignore it, and neither can any other species. They could protect themselves against entire fleets. They could change the balance of power across galaxies. Some will fear us, some will respect us. Both are useful. Fear keeps them cautious. Respect keeps them curious. Both give us time to prepare, to grow, and to endure. This is survival, not showmanship. Back on the human flagship, Ethan addressed the senior officers. The Council may attempt to challenge us, or they may observe quietly. Either way, we are ready. We do not strike first, but we will survive. That is all that matters. We endure, we adapt, and we survive. That is our strength, and one day the galaxy will fully understand it. Perhaps they are the first species we must respect fully, not just tolerate. The dark matter fleet moved silently through space, a ghostly force that no one could track. They knew their advantage was not only technology, but patience, discipline, and careful preparation. The Council would see glimpses, yes, but the full fleet remained hidden, a secret shield for humanity's survival. Patience, Ethan said. That is our greatest weapon. The galaxy is learning our limits slowly. They may underestimate us, but they will also respect what they see, and respect can be more powerful than fear. Now it had to survive the galaxy itself. In the council chambers, simulations sent from human space continued to flicker on the screens. Delegates whispered in awe and unease. Even without fully revealing their fleet, their potential is terrifying, said one. If we challenge them, we may be destroyed before we understand the extent of their power. Finally it spoke, its voice low but firm. Humanity is no longer a minor species. It is a force, not yet fully understood, not yet fully revealed, but one that must be considered with care. The galaxy must respect them or pay a high price. The Council had seen only a portion of the simulations, but the message was clear. Humanity had grown beyond simple survival. Humanity had prepared for threats the galaxy had not yet imagined. Laura looked out at the stars. We have shown them enough to earn respect. Not fear, not aggression, only the certainty that humanity will survive. That is all we need right now. The fleet remains invisible, our technology controlled, our strategy disciplined. The Council has seen a shadow of what we can do. When the time comes, they will see the full measure. Until then, patience is our shield. The Council had begun to understand that humans were no ordinary species, that their endurance and intelligence were forces in themselves, and that the future would be shaped by a species no one had truly expected. The dark matter fleet glimmered in simulations, unseen but unstoppable, a silent reminder that humanity's survival was no accident. The Council could debate, worry, and whisper, but one day they would see the truth. Humans were a force that the galaxy could no longer ignore. The stars stretched across the black expanse, endless and quiet. But for humanity, space was no longer empty. Every jump through hyperspace, every mission beyond human space carried a purpose. The dark matter fleet remained hidden, ready, disciplined, and powerful, yet restrained. Humanity had revealed enough to make the Council pause, enough to demand respect, but the final step toward recognition had yet to come. Ethan Cole walked along the deck of the flagship, his eyes calm as always. The crew moved quietly, efficiently, their tasks precise. The simulations of the fleet had been sent to the Council, showing humanity's strength, restraint, and intelligence. But now it was time to move beyond demonstrations. It was time to show that humans were ready to join the galaxy not as subjects or curiosities, but as equals. Laura Bennett joined him, a tablet glowing softly in her hand. They have seen our potential, she said quietly. Some fear us, some respect us. Now we must guide them toward understanding. We cannot rush recognition, but we can show consistency, intelligence, and fairness. Zilath's massive form loomed over the chamber, eyes glimmering. Humanity continues to grow stronger, and yet they remain controlled, restrained, and disciplined, Zilath said. Their fleet is unmatched in technology, yet they have used it only for defense. This is unusual. Perhaps this species deserves our recognition. We cannot trust them fully, but restraint combined with power is persuasive. They are no longer small, no longer weak. They may be allies, or they may be the first species that cannot be ignored. Humanity's fleet was invisible, yet its potential influence was impossible to dismiss. Every scenario showed that humans could survive nearly anything the galaxy could throw at them. Back on the human flagship, Ethan called a meeting with senior officers and scientists. "The Council is observing," he said. "Some are impressed, some are cautious. Our task is to continue showing restraint, intelligence, and fairness. We do not provoke, we do not dominate. We only survive, protect, and act when necessary. It is elegant, precise, and controlled. They will see mastery, not aggression." In the blackness of space, vessels shimmered faintly as dark matter fields activated, bending light, warping energy, and creating illusions of movement. Ships appeared and disappeared, danced through simulations, and executed perfect formations. Every vessel moved as if it were part of a single organism, yet each retained independent control. In the council chambers, delegates watched the holographic feed with wide eyes. "Even without direct combat, the humans demonstrate precision unmatched by most species," said the crystalline delegate. "Every movement is calculated, every shield perfectly balanced. They are remarkable. Not reckless, not aggressive, but dangerous in ways we cannot anticipate. Their restraint is a weapon in itself. They could defend or destroy entire fleets without a single misstep. We cannot underestimate them again. They do not attack. This is not a species to mock, nor one to ignore. The Council must recognize them as equals or risk future conflict born of misunderstanding. Tomorrow we build trust." Ethan spoke first. "Honored Council members, we have shown what humanity has learned through centuries of survival. We have shown restraint, intelligence, and strength. We have acted carefully, not recklessly. We do not seek war, domination, or conquest. We seek only understanding, cooperation, and recognition as a species capable of contributing to the galaxy's future. Today, we ask only for equality and respect. Humanity has proven itself not only resilient but disciplined, intelligent, and controlled. They have endured forces that would destroy others. They have mastered powers that are dangerous to many species, and yet they have acted with caution and wisdom. The Council recognizes humanity as an equal member of the galactic community." Some delegates stood, nodding respectfully. Others hesitated but could not deny the evidence. For the first time, humans were treated as equals, not as curiosities, not as weaklings, not as threats. Recognition had been earned, not demanded, through endurance, intelligence, and careful strategy. Ethan and Laura exchanged a glance. The weight of centuries of human survival, struggle, and perseverance rested on their shoulders. Yet the acknowledgement of the Council made every sacrifice, every hardship, every calculated risk worthwhile. Outside the chamber, ambassadors from multiple species approached the humans. Some offered tentative alliances, others suggested shared research initiatives. The galaxy was beginning to understand that humans were not reckless, primitive, or weak. They were resilient, intelligent, and capable of mastering forces that others feared. Laura smiled quietly. "It is done. Humanity has stepped into the galaxy as an equal. The Council sees us not as small or fragile, but as a species capable of endurance and wisdom. And this is only the beginning. We have survived for centuries. We have endured disasters, wars, and extinction. Now we survive in a galaxy that finally sees us for what we are. That is a victory worth more than any war could provide." Humanity had revealed enough to earn respect, but the full measure would only be known when truly necessary. That restraint was a message itself. Humans did not seek conquest, only survival and cooperation. As humans returned to their vessels, the Council continued deliberating, now with caution and respect. Zilath's final words echoed in the chamber. "Humanity is a species that endures. Their intelligence is matched by their patience. Their power is hidden yet controlled. We recognize them not merely for what they have achieved, but for what they represent. Survival through wisdom, endurance through struggle, and strength tempered by restraint. Not as small, fragile, or foolish, but as a species capable of enduring anything. That is the first step toward a future where humans are never underestimated again." Humanity is respected. Alien civilizations began considering cooperation, trade, and alliances. Some feared the potential of the dark matter fleet, yet others admired the discipline and wisdom humanity had displayed. The galaxy was learning, slowly but surely, that humans were not to be underestimated. In the quiet of space, the dark matter fleet waited, ready to protect, defend, and endure. Humanity had survived countless threats and had now survived the scrutiny of the Galactic Council. The stars no longer seemed empty, but full of possibility, challenge, and opportunity. Ethan, Laura, and Alex Turner knew that the journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers, mysteries, and opportunities, but humanity was prepared. They had endured extinction, mastered forces beyond comprehension, and earned the respect of civilizations older and more powerful than themselves. For the first time in human history, humanity was truly recognized as an equal among the stars. And in that moment, the long journey of survival, learning, and endurance had reached a new beginning. A beginning where humanity would no longer be underestimated, ignored, or dismissed. A beginning where humans would step into the galaxy fully, prepared to face any challenge, and capable of shaping the future with intelligence, restraint, and resilience. The stars burned quietly, distant, and eternal. But humanity had arrived, ready to endure, to protect, and to thrive. The Council had acknowledged it. The galaxy had begun to understand it, and humanity's story in the stars had only just begun.